You're listening to the Drinks and a Movie podcast. Hosted by Rudy Ruiz. Spoiler alert.
Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Drinks and a Movie podcast. I'm back. Matt Lackey's co-hosting with me.
What up, what up?
We're out here in Hollywood, and today we're going to be revisiting, a revisiting for me, but a first time for you.
True.
The Living Daylights, James Bond, 1987.
Hell yeah.
So this will be kind of like the License to Kill one we did.
Okay, cool.
But first, I am going to drink this time. So I haven't told you this yet.
No.
Last week, I did a 6-day fast of only water, no food, nothing.
Oh, how did it go, man?
Pretty well. It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad. Okay.
Like I was saying, I got obsessed with cooking.
Yeah.
So every night I was like watching cooking videos, just torturing myself.
Yeah, why do that, man? Holy
But all that being said, like my goal was 5 days, and I ended up going 6. And I think I could have gone more, but I had like bought groceries and all this stuff. So I've taken like a couple days to kind of like get my digestion back. So I haven't been drinking. I've recorded like 4 episodes alone. I haven't been drinking anything.
Holy
so
cow.
This will be the first drink I've had in a while.
Can I ask you a question? Because I've actually thought about doing it myself. Did it feel like it cleaned you out? Like, do you feel like a little bit?
It did.
Okay.
Not as much as people say. Like everybody was saying that because when you hit like autophagy, that you get more like even clarity in your brain, and your mind, and your calm, and this like all these positive mental aspects.
There's a whole vibe to it, the whole thing. So.
Yeah, for me, I honestly didn't really feel any of that. I also, like in the past when I've done like low carb diets for a few weeks or whatever, I've like slept better and this and that. But in this case, I didn't even sleep better, you know, because I'm assuming you're not getting sugar or anything. But
gotcha.
Even my sleep, like nothing.
I know you struggle. That's not it's always the easiest thing for you anyway.
Yeah.
So, oh man.
And normally,
that's a bummer. If
I like diet or something, it gets better. This time it didn't, which was interesting. But I did feel better. It like definitely made me realize the difference between like actual hunger, because your body's going to take care of itself. And I've got a lot of weight, right? So like I could probably go like a month without eating. My body's going to ultimately be fine as long as I get like electrolytes. Sure. But yeah, just the difference between like hunger and just like I want things. I just want this. I want to make all this food. I want to do that.
Damn cheeseburger.
Yeah, exactly. But it was good, and it wasn't too difficult because you know, it's not like I had a bunch of friends calling me up to go out. Like, there's no event, so it's not like I was out and about. I was just working.
Midnight in and out calls or anything.
Yeah. So I'm just hanging out here, and it gave me a lot of time to like do podcasts and watch movies.
Oh hell yeah, man!
So
that's sick.
Cool. Yeah.
Hey, congrats on making it, man. Going the extra day too, like even more than your goal. That's cool, dude.
Yeah, no, thanks. But I do. If it's something you've been thinking about, it's not that bad. Once you get past like. The second day might be the worst. Once you get over that hump, it's like you feel like, oh yeah, I can keep going.
I've done so. Like I drink a lot of Diet Coke, way more. But I've not drank it for 30 days. And the problem I had, I shouldn't say the problem, but I didn't feel any different at all during the entire time. So I'm like, well, if I don't feel any different, I'm not sleeping any different. My energy level's not the same. But I'm gonna still drink this shit.
Why not? Yeah. So. Yeah. That's been the interesting thing. The one thing that has kind of changed for me is like after, and I did like slowly break it. Like the first day I only ate like soup. Yeah. I still didn't drink Diet Coke. It was still water for a couple days. Yeah. And then like just like some protein. Then, you know, now I'm kind of normal again.
Protein powder? Is that a...
No, meat. Like just eating meat. Yeah. And like starting to do some
getting your body to actually break it down. That's cool, man. Oh,
so cool. Over a couple days. But now that I'm eating like meals again, I do feel that difference. Like I feel
heavier,
like I'm holding like a extra stuff.
Oh man, wow!
And I'm like, oh yeah, like it's not that it's a sickening feeling, but it just doesn't feel comfortable. Like I feel all the fucking fat and shit inside my body, and it's like, oh,
you know, it's there.
Yeah, I kind of liked when I was like,
cleaning it out. So,
but I might try to make it a habit of maybe not 5 days, but maybe doing like 3 days a month.
There you go,
like maybe the start of every month.
I mean, that's people. There's the intermittent. There's all these different types of fasting options. So that's super cool, man. Well, good luck with it. That's super cool. You made it that far. Congrats,
man. Yeah, hopefully this doesn't taste like
What
awful.
are we beveraging?
So we're going to do Nelson Brothers whiskey. We've done a bunch of these before. I think I made a video of this one, but I don't think I actually ever reviewed it on the podcast.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. I had to look back. I didn't see it. I'm at the point where I'm like, shit, I'm kind of like running out of stuff to drink on the show.
If you saw his wall, you would find that hard to believe. But you've done so many episodes now of the podcast. So maybe I'll have to bring something next time. I don't know.
And I mean, I have a lot of single barrels too, but I don't necessarily do those. And
I'm just telling you, my Costco episode, we go get the Costco brands on everything. You know?
I'd be down.
Yeah, we'll drink
we should do that. But yeah, so this is Nelson Brothers Mouvedre Cask. So a blend of straight bourbon whiskeys finished in Mourvedre wine casks. This is coming in at 107.5 proof, which is a nice little zone. Let's see if that says anything extra on the back here. We've got
if there's an age statement or anything.
Oh yeah, so non-age stated.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess like around 6 to 8 years old.
Okay, gotcha. So that makes sense for that.
So yeah, prior to bottling, we pour well-aged Nelson Brothers whiskey into casks previously used to age Mourvedre wine at the Withers Winery.
Oh, that's cool.
The result is a singular fusion of fragrance and flavor. I remember reading about Mourvedre before. I know it's a red wine. I think it's on the dry side.
What was the one with the sherry finish? What was the
Oh, that was another Nelson. That's like one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, we really like that one. So you reminded me of that a little bit.
Oh, wow, this smells really good.
Yeah, it smells fantastic.
So I get the vanilla. I definitely get the red wine influence. I can't put maybe like a plum.
It's sweet. There's this sweet, but it feels like it's been aged. Like it's like a sweet aged for me at least. Oh man, that goes
like a vanilla plum,
really
maybe
pleasant.
a raspberry kind of vibe.
The thing I would say about this too, I know we've nosed some on previous episodes where I had to stick my face in the damn glass.
Yeah.
This one came right off
Just
right
jumps
away.
Out,
so.
yeah.
I don't know if that means anything. Maybe it's just the way my sinuses are working that day or whatever. But
it always changes too, because there's days where I'm like, well, I can't smell anything. Like it's always there's so many factors that go into tasting and nosing. But yeah, vanilla, plum, maybe a little cherry, like just, you kind of get the sense of the red wine.
For this episode too, I was wondering if you were going to go with something wine related because there was some wine drinking in this film.
Yeah, well, I'm going for the taste.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Wow. That was not what I was expecting. I'll tell you that.
Man, that tastes good.
It's fantastic. Very smooth up front for me, by the way.
Yeah. A little too smooth.
That's it. I was thinking, I'm like, where's my heat?
Yeah. It comes in the back.
Yeah.
I will say there's a little bit of a grassy note on the. It's not bad. It's definitely like the Nelsons. Like I've tasted that before. Like a little bit of a grassy vibe. Yeah, very smooth on the front of the palate. Kind of like oily too. Like a nice texture.
And
second sip.
A lot of the flavors I'm getting actually match the nose I was getting, which is actually kind of nice considering some of the other ones we've tasted. Oh man. That is okay. I'm getting a little bit more of the heat now in the second one. Oh, that's good.
A nice like Luxardo cherry, more of the wine influence, like caramel candy. This is I've only like you saw I barely drank any. I think I just did like a video review of this when they first sent it to me.
Mourvedre Cask.
But I haven't hit it since. This is a really good Nelson Brothers product.
Dude, this is great.
I don't think they sell them out here. I'm pretty sure it's a distillery.
My next question.
I'm pretty sure it's a distillery only. I haven't seen this one here. So you probably got to
shit out of luck, folks. No,
I know a lot of them now they ship. So I would have to look on the website to see if this can be shipped here. But that's good. And yeah, I will say that it matches the palate. The palate matches the nose pretty well. And I like when that happens.
I can't remember. Have you had a chance to visit them? I can't remember.
Yeah, I've gone a couple times.
You've gone a couple times now. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Dude, that's super cool.
And it's a really nice location. So if anyone's ever in
Nashville?
or near Nashville, and it's maybe, I don't know, like 15 minutes away from the airport. So it's pretty close by. It is well worth checking out. The restaurant's cool, super nice.
There's a small chance the wife and I go to Nashville for summer. One of her kids is doing, we talk about drum corps, but she's doing Boston. So she's like, oh, I can go. This is the only time we can go see him is during the time they're in Nashville. So if we do, I bet she loved going to Sagamore. So I bet I could talk her into visiting. Nelson Brothers.
The tour is pretty cool. And now, like when I went, they didn't offer this. And then the second time I was able to go, like, because it was when I was going on tour.
Oh yeah.
They weren't doing it this day, but they do like a bottle your own. So they'll have like a barrel. I think if you do the tour, maybe you pay extra. I'm not sure how it works, but they'll have a barrel for like a couple months. That's like some kind of unique specialty.
Cool.
and then you bottle it yourself. You write,
that's sick.
Yeah, like you write the info on it.
Yeah.
And then it's like your,
what a cool,
kind of a single barrel
offering.
thing.
I also, so I got to be honest, I was a little surprised at, you said it was 107. It doesn't, it's a weird thing to say it doesn't taste like that, but there's not a lot of overbearing heat or anything like that to it. So I could, this is definitely a sipper. I mean, this is not one I'd want to mix in an old fashioned or anything like that. This is one I'd want to get all the flavors from it right up front.
It's really good. I feel like it's getting better and better for me too. Those flavors, like the sweet notes, like the mixed berry kind of notes.
Oh yeah. Dude, I'm literally just getting that fruit, like it was
mixed berry,
like berry or cherry or something like that.
Like the raspberry, blueberry, strawberry, all medley.
How crazy.
Yeah, that's a really good one. Damn, I should buy another one of these. Like, I was thinking, like, you know what? It's almost Valentines. I need a wine kind of thing.
What is this one in the range? It was like 80, 100. What's this one at?
Probably that sounds about right. Probably in the 80 to.
It has that kind range. Of sophisticated, whatever, depth to it. So
and. Yeah. Oh, what was I going to say about that?
Sorry,
oh, no. I was just going to say, you know what? So this is my first drink in over a week.
Oh, geez.
And not just like, it's not like I didn't, but not only not drink, but even food, right? So I was kind of worried how my palate would react to the alcohol and all that. And man, it's good. This is a good, easy sipping. Like you said, even though it's over 100 proof, like, and 107.5, like that 105 to 110 proof range is like such a sweet spot. Like, I love really high proof stuff, but I think I'm realizing that 110-ish, like 107 is like such a good zone to be in. If
you were new to bourbon or whiskey, you could totally get into this just by itself. You wouldn't have to, maybe an ice cube, I guess, if you wanted to, but I wouldn't even bother with that. Like, just go sip right for it. This is great. Holy cow, this is good.
Yeah, damn, good pour. I'm glad I pulled that one off the shelf.
I may ask for a second pour, just to let you know, depending on how long we go on bond. So, because this is damn tasty. This is great.
Well, all right, let's move on, everybody. We're revisiting The Living Daylights.
The name that means excitement is back. Bond. James Bond.
That girl must be very talented.
Shut up.
Believe me, my interest in her is purely professional.
What is this?
I've had a few optional extras installed.
Wherever he goes, adventure follows.
Two of our men are dead. Koskov's named you.
Then I must die.
Eliminate him.
Kill him! He lives for danger. He lives for the moment. He lives on the edge.
Whoever she was, I must have scared the living daylights out of her.
James Bond, 007, The Living Daylights.
Again, this is 1987, directed by John Glenn. The first Timothy Dalton Bond movie, just 1 out of 2. So now you've seen both of the Dalton Bond movies. I'll give the synopsis real quick, and then I want to jump into like your experiencing this, because anyone who's listened to my podcast knows I've already watched this that first time. But so this follows Bond, kind of an updated Bond, an updated James Bond. And his kind of mission in this one is essentially to aid in the defection of a Russian general. But there's kind of, and they get the intel, the British Secret Service, that the other Russian general, General Pushkin, who replaced General Gogol, is out to assassinate every British spy. Schmerz death to spies, right? Like the original, if you read the novels, Smersh, that was their whole thing. They were all about like death to spies, right? So they're kind of going back to that old school, like classic Bond villain idea.
Spy versus spy. Well, not spy versus, but like death to spies.
Yeah. And so, but there's kind of some lies and deceit at play here.
In a Bond movie? No. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. So Bond has to kind of investigate a little bit further to find out the truth behind, what's happening, and if this is all the work of General Pushkin, played by John Rhys Davis, which is awesome. Yeah, Sala.
I was going to say Sala. And I got to tell you, as we get to the end, like there was like, I felt like there was some Raiders and Last Crusade.
No, 100%. That's still the part of this movie I feel a little weird about. Like it just, but
anyway, sorry.
But yeah, I mean, that's like super rough plot. Obviously there's more to it and we'll talk about it in detail, but I mean, first impression for you.
Okay, so a couple of first impressions. Number one, the 87 of it, the 80s-ness of it, it struck me right away. Mm-hmm. So after you get past some of the traditional Bond themes and stuff like that, there is a fair amount of what music that sounds like it's from the 80s. Mm-hmm. Some of the technology when he's got a tape player in the car, but that seems like futuristic because it's got a laser on it on the Aston Martin, but it's also got a tape player. So I was trying not to be that guy, but I did definitely. I bumped on some of like the 80s and stuff, but that doesn't bother me. But okay, so here's my like overall just quick 1 minute review, and that is the action is awesome. I loved the action. Almost all of the set pieces in this movie, I liked them all. The stuff in between didn't hit for me as much.
Yeah,
a couple I thought, and we talked about License to Kill. I really liked that one a lot. So this one doesn't quite, to me, reach that level of License to Kill, specifically in the moments in between. I didn't find it as interesting, and maybe because it's a bit more standard fare. I think for Bond, they're playing it as there were some times where they played against some of the tropes and stuff like that, but for the most part, it felt like very formulaic almost. And so when and some of the dialogue to me, I loved the action dialogue. I thought the jokes actually worked for me a lot, and I saw some of the reviews were saying, "Hey, Timothy Dalton's not as funny as some of the other Bonds." I'm like, I actually thought those were great. It was the times in between that didn't. Some of the dialogue was like, "Okay, we're going to go over here now," and then they go over there. Like it didn't. It was very. I am telling the audience when they need to know, so we're moving on, and that's the only parts I bumped at. So for me, as an overall thing, it didn't quite live up to License to Kill, but I really liked that one. But the action was enough for me that I enjoyed the hell out of it just for that alone.
Yeah, I feel like License to Kill really doubled down on the things that at the time they felt worked here.
Yes, I totally agree.
Like they leaned in more into like Timothy Dalton being kind of hardcore and serious.
His acting is so great. Like that's the thing. I think he is a great Bond. Like, and even in some of the times where I think some of the dialogue was just very plain, I think he elevates it in his performance. Even in this movie,
he does. That's a perfect way to put that. He kind of lifts everything up a little bit more.
Yeah,
and this was one when I first watched it. That to your point, like kind of the plot and everything, I was like not really about it. And mind you, this is the third time I've seen it now.
Okay.
Because I've already revisited it.
Yeah.
Once since my initial viewing. Okay. And it's funny because this is a movie that I find myself like I think about this one a lot. I'm just always thinking about this one. Maybe because I'm listening to the song a lot. I also really like the car chase. Like the song's a banger.
Yeah, the song is totally a banger.
And again, like total 87. Like
I thought it was Bowie at first. By the way, when I first heard the voice, I didn't realize who was doing that. I'm looking at the credits. No, it's not Bowie at first, and then I could tell it wasn't him as it went on. I'm like, dude, this is sick. I love the song.
Yeah, great song.
Yeah.
But yeah, more and more, I really like this one. And I think in my ranking, I even put Timothy Dalton as my third favorite Bond. And he's on the cusp of like the top three Bonds for me are like, they might as well always be like morphing and changing. Like
depends on what time of day or month or whatever.
Yeah. And if I'm watching a Dalton Bond movie, it's like, oh, in that moment, like he's the fucking best Bond, And like, again, I've said this 100 times, like they were definitely doing what would eventually become like the Daniel Craig thing.
Yes,
they started here with him. Like people just weren't ready for it, and it does play better for me now. Because one of my critiques of it when I was watching all the movies in order was he just felt too different from Roger Moore. Like it just wasn't even the same guy.
Yeah.
Whereas the transition from like Connery to Roger Moore was a little more gradual. They kind of worked. Here it's like, oh, it might as well be a whole other character. So I get why people say that about the humor, because Roger Moore, they really leaned into the funny aspects.
And I know I've only watched one of his, but like he's got great charisma and that for that specific type of thing. So it's definitely understandable that that's the case. So
when you're like coming off of them, and if you just, and that's the thing, that's why I was curious to have you watch it, because if you just pluck it out of nowhere and this is the one you're watching, if you don't have that reference, it's like, I feel like he's undeniably great.
Yeah, man. No, dude, he's so good.
Yeah.
And I thought most of the cast and the characters were interesting and pretty good for the most part, but I didn't looked at everything else didn't quite elevate a level for me. So like I thought the Bond girl was decent.
Yeah.
Like I have nothing negative to say about it. I thought the villain was kind of interesting. You know, was not too the one guy who ends up throwing off the plane. Him not
Koskov? Oh no, Necros.
Necros, yeah,
the guy from Die Hard.
Yeah, exactly. The arms dealer I thought was interesting. Who I swear I've seen in other movies.
Well, he was in GoldenEye.
He was in GoldenEye. Okay,
he's a CIA guy.
There we go. I'm like this guy looks so freaking familiar and stuff like that. Okay.
Cape Fear. Martin Scorsese's Cape Fear. He's
got it. Okay.
These things.
So
that's one thing. I think maybe for me the worst thing about this movie, and I mean that's not even saying it's like bad. Like I really like the movie, but I mean Bond villains,
yes,
are so important to making a great Bond movie. Like if you don't have a fucking badass Bond villain, it's kind of, in my opinion, hard for the movie to like be really great. I think it automatically puts a cap on how far it can go.
Yeah.
And this is that case. This is one of the movies where kind of like Octopussy, where there's kind of two villains, right? It's like there's Koskov and there's Whitaker, the arms dealer, and kind of a little bit interesting, but like not really. I don't know. They're not really a mental or a physical threat to Bond, you know?
And also, you know, when he in the opening scene sequences where he bumps off the MI6 agents, it's very simple. And then later on, like a lot of his actions and things are, or at least the way the movie's portrayed them as, is like it's not elevated. There's not something larger than life about them. And yes, sometimes it can be over the top, but that's what makes it memorable sometimes.
Yeah.
And there's nothing like that for this character. Yeah. So I was trying to, because I was like, why is this not hitting? Why am I not remembering him as much as some of the other ones? So.
Yeah, the villains are pretty weak, and I think that kind of takes it down a notch or whatever. I do feel this one also is a little more grounded than some of the other films,
without a doubt.
For sure. I mean, I love that whole opening sequence.
Dude,
like eventually, I'm going to do a ranking of them all. And this was one I kind of felt a little whatever about at first, but more and more I'm like, it's pretty banger. Like,
oh my God,
the Halo jump, and they're all on this like training mission, and
they get picked off. I'm sure they did some skydiving.
Those are real aerial stunts. Yeah. So. I mean, that's.
And I love when they take the whatever the Jeep is over the cliff and everything like that. Like I thought that was all really well. So I've read some reviews leading up into this, and one of the things you just bumped on was it feels grounded. And at the time, Ebert actually almost criticized that because Dalton's so believable in it. It feels like it's grounded and real.
Yeah.
And he had appreciated Roger Moore's and Sean Connery's kind of like winking at the camera at times kind of approach to it, and so it feels more grounded than it is like. Yeah. And I think it's okay to compliment it. I think that's one thing that, especially now in retrospective, it actually plays a little bit better nowadays than maybe it did back in the 80s.
And you see Dalton doing more of the stunts. They're able to use him a lot more because Roger Moore was like pushing 60 when he was not a young man before this. Right? So like one of the big criticisms of View to a Kill, and even a little bit Octopussy, is it's like so many stunt people and they don't even like hide it. It's like Roger Moore's barely in the movie. And because he was too old. And then when you do see him, it's he's an old man.
Right.
So now it's like you get to do these different angles. And when he's on the truck, which I love all that stuff, parachuting off the truck. Another moment that's gotten better for me too is his delivery when he lands on that yacht. That lady's like, there's only tennis players and playboys here. And the way he does that, like he lands on the little canopy and he like flips down. But it's like him, it's not a stunt guy.
No, it's great.
And the way he delivers the iconic, right? James Bond. The first time I saw it, I was kind of like, I don't know. But more and more,
he's good.
I love it. Because he says it so nonchalantly, and they don't make a moment of like
it's not close up and
like Bond, James. He just like doesn't even look at her. He's just like James Bond while he's on the phone. And what I love about it is from like the acting perspective, and this must have been his choice, is he just owns the line.
Yes.
Like he owns it and he says it as if he has said it 100 times before.
Totally.
Without like leaning into the moment. And I actually really appreciate that. I think that was a brilliant move
I totally
set
agree.
him up.
And that adds to his authenticity. And he's probably the most believable character in the film. And I know Bond movies, this is ridiculous things are happening. So when I say believable, I mean in the sense of the world that they've created and stuff. This guy seems like the most important person in the room.
Yeah.
And without even having to do anything, just the owning of the lines and the character and all that kind of stuff. Totally agree with that, man.
Yeah.
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 Make it 2 hours, So
I think they definitely lean into more of him being in like assassin mode in this movie too, because his whole kind of first mission after the opening credits is there's going to be he's defecting. Okay. He wants you specifically to like protect him. They know there's going to be a sniper there. And I like when he like undoes his suit and it turns into like a tactical, like kind of, black covers him up. It's all cool. He's got this big ass rifle and he's like making this decision to not kill her. I only kill professionals or whatever. I think all of that is great. The whole pipeline thing.
The pipeline was awesome.
Yeah.
I want to compliment because I thought the sequence was actually done really well. It's the first time I bumped on some of the writing or the dialogue that was put in the characters' mouths, because after he misses the shot, Saunders says, "You had the shot. Why did you miss the shot?" And we could clearly just see that. That was like, that kind of shit bugs me. Where I'm like, it doesn't bug me, but film is this great medium. You can, it's way more interesting to, especially when you got Dalton, man. Like he says a lot with his face without saying anything. I don't think he needed to say something like that. I know it's something stupid and silly, but that's one of the things I'm talking about. Like where I'm bumping on the dialogue, just repeating what I just saw happen. And I understand maybe you couldn't tell with the laser sighting on her hands and not on her head. But whatever. Sorry.
Well, I think I can understand it from that guy's perspective. I mean, I don't know how else would you say it.
Why didn't you take the shot? Or why aren't you following orders? Something I don't actually. I'm not a writer.
So you're talking about because he says you had the shot.
Yes.
Why didn't you
take the shot? Yeah. He's literally reiterating what we just saw.
Yeah.
And so for those who don't know,
instead of just what are you doing? Why didn't you do it?
I teach high school kids video and TV production, and one of my biggest complaints is if somebody repeats the same thing, you don't need to include it in your video. Like this is. Our time is so precious on this earth. And I know it's 2 seconds. I'm being way too picky over 2 seconds. But you've got a high standard. Like I said, I really enjoyed License to Kill. So if you're not on that level, I only notice it because you've done it better. And I know maybe it's unfair that we watch the second one first, but so be it.
No, they should all stand on their own, So. No, I mean, that's a fair assessment.
It happens a couple times in the film, so.
I never really thought about it that moment that way. But
there's a couple other times, but I won't get into it. But I'll just leave it at that happened more than once, where we saw something and then or like stating it after or stating it before. And I know you want to remind the audience. So those have valid reasons for and stuff like that. But in a film like this, I think anything that gets in the way of moving forward gets in the way.
Well, don't watch any Netflix movies now because the mandates they have about that very thing.
Matt Damon's. It's crazy, man.
That's wild.
So
we know people are on their phones, so you got to explain every little. And when you see the people on Instagram set up those examples, it's pretty crazy.
And it's also, not to go down tangent, but I think that's one of the nice things about seeing something in the cinema. Like I'm definitely guilty of it. Even probably once or twice I checked my phone watching this movie, and that's not cool. Like if I was in a theater, I wouldn't. The phone doesn't even exist. I might as well leave it at home. Mm-hmm. So it's a fair point. It's a very fair point. I gotta watch that movie too, by the way.
The Rip.
Yeah, is it good?
I didn't see it. Okay. I honestly wasn't interested.
It's not something I would normally see, but I'm like, Affleck and Damon. Sounds kind kind of fun.
Yeah.
Like, what got them to be in a movie again? Was it just the paycheck, or was it?
Yeah.
Which I know they got kids, so I don't blame them. But
Oh man, what else was I going to say? I mean, that's a really good sequence.
Yeah.
I will say, plot story wise, I do kind of like that it gets a little more into the Cold War stuff. It gets a little more into the espionage and the double agents and deceit and all these tricks, and Bond trying to figure out what's really happening. And I don't know, I know Pushkin. It doesn't seem legit that he's suddenly wanting to kill a bunch of people. And I really like him, but he also has to exercise caution. Man, a really good scene is when he finally gets to Pushkin and wherever the hell they are. Which is, again, John Rhys Davies.
Vienna. Were they in Vienna at that point? Or is that Austria or is that Afghanistan? I can't remember. One of those.
That might be, because Vienna was when they were at the fair.
Oh, that's right.
I think they were in
that's the Happy Times. Yeah, that's right.
Or something. I don't even know. But when he gets it and he's got that badass beige suit on, and he looks so hardcore. Dude, when he comes out from behind the door and he's got the gun on him, and he's like, sit down or whatever. Like, why are
the lady that was in the room with
like, dude, and right there, that's a moment where it's like, oh, he looks like a killer. Like he looks hardcore. Like he's done this before, and like will easily murder this man right now. But he's gonna do him the solid of like trying to figure out what's happening, and even the whole thing where, Kara, our Bond girl, so to speak, is like set up by her boyfriend Koskov, and then now Bond is like also kind of tricking her, like, because he's trying to see where it goes. Like, I'm his friend. I'm assigned to like help protect you and get you back to him. What do you know? And all that. And what can you tell me about it? Like, I do like all that, how he has to put on the character and pretend, and we get into the spy stuff and like get information, and I feel like they become a little too chummy too fast. Whatever. It's part of the movie, I guess. Even though they did make it a point in this era, we talked about in License to Kill, where we're in the kind of AIDS timeline, and so they were making an effort to not have it be as sexual as it was in the past.
I think this is where like and I've never casted for anything. I mean, I've hired sometimes actors for certain things and stuff, but my casting is very simple. Can you show up and will you afford whatever I'm going to pay you? I think casting people like they did, where we already have certain feelings for certain types of faces and people we see on screen. So I didn't bump on, they become a little too chummy too quickly. But I feel like that always happens with John Rhys Davies characters, that kind of thing. So
I meant Bond and Kara.
Okay, on that one.
Yeah.
So, okay. Ooh.
Because John Rhys Davies and him, they established that they had a
relationship.
Yeah, exactly. So like that, I was.
So you're talking about specifically with Kara.
Yeah.
Oh man, did they maybe. She's it's one of the few times where he didn't sleep with somebody like right away. So like that I noticed that right away, but I thought it felt pretty deep. Maybe you're right. Maybe it is. Although I did say he goes a long time without telling her his name. I don't know if you noticed this at all, but I'm just like, he doesn't say his name for a long time. And I'm like, at this point, I'm like, she asked twice, like, who are you, And so maybe you're right. Maybe she does let her guard down a little bit too soon for a dude who's not even willing to tell her his name.
And now that maybe it does build up a little better than I thought, because I like how he's kind of frustrated with her in the beginning. And she is this kind of naive character, right? She's just like along for the ride. She doesn't know that her dude just set her up to die and all that. But I think it's a funny cut when she's talking about, we have to go back and get my cello, and he's like, no, and it cuts to him waiting in the car, and she grabs. Like, I do like all that.
Yes, we've all been there, right? Okay, sorry.
I do like that stuff, and that car chase, man.
Oh, it's a good one.
Like the Aston Martin back 80s style, which like still isn't as cool, quite. But
you'd have some Aston Martin folks. No, but
I do. I love the gadgets in this one. I love the laser, the skis,
the tape player. Sorry.
That shot when he like bursts through like a little garage and they're on the ice.
Yeah,
and then he like boost out of there.
It's so like ridiculous.
The garage is sliding on the ice while the car leaves and it gets blown up is so fucking cool. And again, like somehow they did that. Like
they had to have.
It's so awesome, man.
By the way, I love one of the things I realized I loved watching this film is like anytime a vehicle or anything touches something else, it just blows up. And like they kept that consistent throughout this entire film. And for some reason, I love that. I think that's awesome. So,
one thing I was going to mention, you talked about how she doesn't know his name for a long time. Yeah. I appreciated that because I hate in some of the Bond movies and we talked about this in the Craig era, when he's going on these secret missions and using his real fucking name. And I think because in the old ones, it's like, all right, what's my fake name today? Is Saunderville or Summers. I'm David Summers and you're Wendy Summers and we're married. And they've got their secret identities. Like, and so I hate when they go everywhere and it's just like, this is my name. So I do dig that. But where it does start to get like too convoluted, because there is a point in the movie where I kind of lose exactly what the bad guys are after and whether, because now we have the arms dealer and they're trying to set up this guy, but now there's diamonds involved and now there's drugs? Opium.
Yeah,
and
I bumped on that too. I'm like, how are we getting drugs? Like where did that come from?
It's like, why'd you guys throw it? It's like, they're going to get I don't know. And it's fine, but it kind of reminds me of like License to Kill too, when you know the plot. It's pretty simple, and then all of a sudden now there's like this whole thing about Stinger missiles and the CIA. We need to get the Stinger missiles, and they're gonna. I don't know why we needed this extra.
I got a couple. I guess it's one question. Since you read this story, right? It said it's based off a short story.
Yeah, I haven't read that one.
You haven't read this one, okay? Because I was curious. From Wikipedia at least, it says that the Soviet plot is lifted right from the short story. But I was curious if it still dealt with later on dealing with Afghan freedom fighters and selling weapons to this.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think the short story is really only the sniper, like the beginning, sniper stuff and the defection. I think that's all.
Because it felt very much of middle to late 80s. I'm guessing maybe that was written a little bit before the mid 80s, because that type of plot there, as you know, Afghanistan was trying to,
100%. And that's the one part where it feels weird to me and almost kind of dated. And then I just think it's like Rambo 3.
Right.
Like every time I watch it, it's like, oh, it's Rambo 3 now.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a message at the end.
Yeah, right.
Like,
exactly.
How we're here for the freedom
We're fighting
fighters.
the Soviets. Yeah.
Which, I mean, hey, crazy how times change, right?
Right.
But yeah, like to your point, it was like very much that time, and it
feels like it.
I think you brought up another action movie too when we started, or maybe it was also Rambo 3. I don't know, but yeah, it's so of that time. It makes you think a certain thing.
Literally.
And it is I do love that action sequence, and it reminds me of the older Bond films. I was like, oh, it's been a while since there's been like a final battle where it's like armies fighting each other and stuff.
The Roger Moore era didn't have a lot of that?
It did. I think the last time it had that was The Spy Who Loved Me.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Where it's like a big battle.
Yeah, literally.
With like all these people. It's not just Bond, you know?
Keeping track of all of them was even a whole thing.
Moonraker has that too.
Moonraker.
When they're all in fucking outer space.
Can't believe that's a name of a Bond movie, and then that's a plot. They're in outer space. I got to watch this one at some point.
Moonraker's a wild one. It's just literally like, we need to do Star Wars. The book is that I will say, for anyone who's into the books though, that movie is probably the furthest from the source material. Like the book is a completely different everything. And the book is a banger. I think it was the third novel, and it's one of the best ones.
The other question I want to ask you about the books or any of the stories you've read, do you visualize what Bond looks like when you're reading through them?
You know what, man? It kind of changes for me. Like sometimes when I'm reading it, more often than not, it's like a different person.
Okay.
But I can't help. And I sometimes I try to think of it as like Connery or Dalton, like the most. Yeah. But the ones that in my mind pop up are Pierce. And it's always
interesting.
It's always Roger Moore's voice.
Oh, wow.
Like when I read it, it's like Roger Moore's voice specifically.
Oh, wow.
That I always like, he's the one I hear, but it looks more like Timothy Dalton or Pierce.
Oh, so interesting.
Like the black hair. You know, they kind of had a similar look.
Sure.
You know, and so that's kind of what I imagine. That's a good question.
Yeah, I've always wondered, because I recently, not recently, but like a year or two ago, I reread Jurassic Park, and I could not help but remember the characters from the movie are what I see when I'm reading the thing. And so I was like, oh, who do you imagine? And it's also funny, there's only a few times I've read the book before I've seen the movie. So that's also the other thing, like, oh man, does it change your viewing? Like, does it change how you see the movie or anything like that if you've read it first?
Yeah, it's crazy, because even the villains and stuff, I always imagine them like different than the movies.
Oh, okay.
And sometimes they are described a little bit different. Sure. Like Casino Royale, I do think Mads Mikkelsen.
Okay.
Like just because he had such a good look.
Such a great
he just
look.
looks so cool. And like a lot of the dialogue when he's like beating his balls with a carpet beater is like straight out the book. Like,
okay, gotcha.
You know, they'll never recognize you as a man. The question is, will you yield in time or whatever? I love all that. But yeah, like that whole action scene at the end is pretty cool, but it is a big turn when we're suddenly in Afghanistan. And I'm still just like, wait a second, like, how do we fucking get here again?
And I know I watching this in 2026 is a lot different than when it first came out. But I mean, Raiders had already come out at this point. Last Crusade hadn't. But I mean, like, I feel like there were some things that literally could have been lifted right out of those.
And that's another thing. Like, you can definitely see that influence. And we talked about this with License to Kill, right? Like, we're in like the kind of peak 80s action genre. Like now we're in the world of like Schwarzenegger and Stallone, you know, and all
even
that.
Bruce Willis to a certain extent, but yeah, totally, man. Yeah, all those guys who are the who's the other ones? Oh gosh, there's so many of them. Seagal, Van Damme, all these kind of things.
Yeah. So it has a little bit of that vibe. And you know what's funny is Octopussy. I think that one's pretty damn good.
Okay.
In that one, definitely. Maybe it's just because they're like in India for a lot of that movie, and that was the first of the movies where they're in that like
India's
that part of the world.
So well, man. It's just anytime.
And that one has like a big, like, to me, Indiana Jones kind of vibe. Yeah. And when you look at the dates, it's like, oh, Raiders came out. Like, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Were they post-Raiders world?
Yeah, it exists now. And, like, it definitely, Bond, like, kind of picked up, all that stuff in a good way.
And I think my take on this, too, is that if you're going to present an action-heavy film, I don't have a problem comparing to some of those because even to this day, Raiders is paced so perfectly, in my opinion, that if you're not pushing us along similar to that, unless you're really driving home some sort of different message or you're trying to make us feel a different way, I kind of like, okay, you might be losing me a little bit if you don't. And I know that's probably just me. I've seen a lot of movies. I don't know, but that's the way I feel about it. And that's like this one, that's what this movie, to your point, like you felt like you got to Afghanistan, it was a little like now you're a little bit almost like disoriented a little bit. I felt like that, like maybe this movie could have been about 15 or 20 minutes shorter had they maybe gotten rid of, or at least made it clear why.
At least not the opium.
At least why? What was that? Yes. Stick with one thing.
Yeah.
Arms, we understand. You're selling weapons to the so-and-so, So, yeah. Or the Soviet defections. Yeah, that kind of thing we understand as well, especially I'm sure in the 80s. So yeah, anyway.
Yeah, I just got a little too crazy. Yeah, cool scene. Cool
but the action is fucking awesome in it. I love the bulldozer. I love the plane. Like oh my God. Some of the plane stuff, holy shit. I want to know how they did when they're hanging onto that package as they're flying outside of the plane and then they tilt it up and the thing floats up and then floats up.
Yeah.
I don't know if they put dummies on that or if that was miniature. I don't know how they did that. It looks freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I'm curious how they did some of that.
Yeah, the wide shot stuff is like real, which is
so
insane,
good.
man.
Yeah, dude.
Oh yeah, all that shit. Like even I was watching some behind the scenes, and they like dropped the Jeep out with the parachute.
Yeah.
Like I guess the first time they tried it, the parachute got tangled, and the Jeep just fucking hit the ground. Like no one was in there.
No. But they're really doing
they just
that.
Destroyed the Jeep.
Yeah. It's a Bond movie. We'll just spend some more money. Well, so okay, we talked about Temple of Doom on the podcast, and it's one of my favorite opening sequences to a movie ever. But there are some times where Harrison Ford is obviously in front of a green screen going down, on the raft and everything. He's going out. This one, I'm like, I looked hard to look for some of that, and it's the wide shots, to your point, look so freaking good. I was just, that alone was almost worth the price of admission, which is, just loading up Netflix, whatever. But, I would have paid to see that. I'm not kidding, man. It was good.
Yeah, all the rear projection stuff, like, definitely got better up by this point.
Oh, man.
You know what's crazy is I don't know if you listened to one of my newer episodes, but I've made it a goal to watch every Best Picture winner this year.
Okay, I saw that on your Instagram.
Yeah, so I've done 3 of them so far.
Okay, cool.
In Wings, the first one, the silent film, 1927. I say this in the episode. If you're a student of film, anybody, you got to fucking watch Wings. It's a long one.
I've seen some of the scenes from it. Yeah, some of the memorable.
Like there's very famous, like one specifically like famous shot. I think I even posted on Instagram earlier yesterday. But the flying effects and all the visuals and shit in that movie is pretty fucking crazy. Like we're talking about how good this shit looks in like 87 James Bond. Like if you watch Wings, you're like, they're flying, like they're out there, like how'd they get the camera up there? And I say in the episode, I'm like, there's better, because there's stuff that it has to be rear projection. It fucking has to be. Like it was even a struggle in Dunkirk for them to like rig cameras on planes. How they would have done that then. And some of the shots are definitely, I don't know. But there's stuff in there, and I say, like, there's rear projection shit that's better in that movie than in, like, some of the Sean Connery Bond movies.
Yeah.
Because we talked about it. It's like, it kind of kills the vibe when it's a bad rear, and I'm like, dude, this 1900-year-old movie did it better.
There are times, like, so I know we don't do it very much. Oh, I guess we still do it, but we do it differently nowadays. But like Casablanca has some really famous rear projection film scenes, but when it's supposed to be almost like a dreamlike sequence. Mm-hmm. So like when you're creating a certain mood or a vibe, it actually, you don't mind it. Like it fits the scenario you're talking about. And other times where like, if you want to keep the action real and sometimes it just takes it out, takes you out of it a little bit. And it's one of those just victims to time that happens. So.
For sure. Yeah. And I mean, I'm forgiving to that stuff
totally.
for the most part.
Same
but,
here.
And to your point, in this movie, it looks good. And there's some banger cinematography, man.
Man.
Especially some of that desert stuff. Like there's one shot with like the sun setting in the background and the wind's blowing and like the camels are like silhouetted
it's great, man.
with the anamorphic flares. And it's like the color looks a little weird on that particular shot, but like there's some great, camera work in this movie. The music too, I'm pretty sure this was, it has to be the last movie that John Barry scored for Bond, and I do like the score in this, man.
Same here. I thought it fit.
I like the updates, the update to the theme during the car chase and the Gibraltar part in the beginning. I think is pretty cool.
It's got some 80s synth and things like that, but I actually think it fits really well for the film. Now, when I say it felt 80s, it's not a negative. It definitely fits the vibe of what they're trying to do. So I agree. Good, very good soundtrack.
Yeah.
Actually, I liked it a lot, including the opening song, which is pretty much a banger.
Yeah, love that one. Man,
I was also wondering, because I haven't watched them all like you, like how many dudes have sang the opening songs of a Bond movie?
Oh man, a lot.
Are there a lot? Okay.
Well, I'm going to start from the beginning. Let's see. So we have Tom Jones, Thunderball.
That one, I've heard that one.
All the Time in the World, Louis Armstrong from On Her Majesty's. It wasn't the opening track, but it's like the prominent theme in the movie.
Gotcha.
So Louis Armstrong. Then actually, I don't think we have any dudes until Duran Duran.
Okay.
For A View to a Kill. Then Aha. Then maybe there's not that many. Then I don't think Casino Royale.
Most of the ones I've seen have female vocalists.
Quantum of Solace was a duo. It was Jack White and
right.
Alicia Keys. Then Sam Smith for Spectre.
Oh, who's that?
So I guess 7 in the history. I guess that's not that many. But 7, unless I'm forgetting someone. I'm pretty sure that's all of it, though.
Is one of them sang by the Soundgarden guy? Or am I thinking a different? No, it must not be.
Well, is that Chris Cornell?
Chris Cornell,
that's Casino Royale.
That's Casino Royale. Yeah. Okay, so gotcha. That's the one I was thinking. I'm like, okay, because I remember him screaming. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I guess that's like 7 or 8.
I'm a fan, so he's got a great voice.
That song's awesome,
dude. Yeah, that song's he's got a great. Oh man, I wish I would have seen them live. Sorry.
Well, I gotta bring up too because I know we're gonna probably wrap this up soon, but it's crazy too because they originally. So Pierce Brosnan was originally cast for this one already.
I read that in the Wikipedia thing. Okay, and they announced it. It was like a whole thing.
Yeah, it was going to be him. So Timothy Dalton got the role kind of late in the game.
Oh, man.
Which is crazy for him, when you think preparation.
Yeah.
And that he read a bunch of the books because his whole thing was doing Ian Fleming's doing the character.
That's on the title. Okay,
get back to the roots of who he is. Not going to try to copy Roger Moore and do the funny shit.
Right.
Let's keep it real. But yeah, there was this whole legal thing with Remington Steele where they extended Pierce's contract. So Albert Broccoli was like, no. He's like, James Bond's not going to be Remington Steele. Remington Steele will not be James Bond. There's no fucking way this is happening. So they got Dalton, but they tried to get Timothy Dalton for On Her Majesty's Secret Service. So this is back in 68, 69. He would have originally been
20-something?
In his 20s, mid-20s.
Okay, yeah.
And he would have been the second Bond.
That's
but
wild.
He turned it down because he felt he was too young. So apparently, Tim Dalton told Broccoli and the producers, thank you, but I'm not going to do it. I'm too young. Bond needs to be mid-30s.
That's wild for a guy trying to start his career and everything. That's a wild thing to do.
That's a serious fucking actor.
Yeah,
that's someone who's
serious
about the craft. Not just to make the money or the accolades or the fame. Who's nah, I'm not right for the role. I'm too young.
Wow.
Which is cool. I think that's awesome. And I'm stoked that he ended up getting it eventually.
For real.
It's a bummer that people weren't ready for it and he only got the 2.
Yeah, that's important.
Because I feel he's very underrated and underappreciated. But man, I can't help but think, right? Because On Her Majesty's Secret Service is more and more, I'm this is one of the best fucking movies. And it had so much more depth and Bond and the relationship side of the story and all that. And what the way it all works out, plays out at the end. It's if only Sean Connery did that part, because I think that would have got him reinvested because he was over it. By the time he got to You Only Live Twice, he just sleepwalked through the fucking movie.
Gotcha, okay.
And he was ready to be done and hated it, was done with it. And then, But I think I read somewhere that he even said that he kind of wishes he did that one.
Oh, interesting. Wow. Yeah.
And we would have got to see him fulfill a more dramatic role to show a lot more range.
Yeah.
You know, it would have been incredible. And then even if he didn't do it though, but like if Timothy Dalton fucking did that part, man, like it's crazy. There's got to be an alternate universe where that happened. Because if Dalton ended up doing that part and crushed it and the movie would have been a fucking banger, I mean, would they have still made Diamonds Are Forever like the campiest, goofiest fucking James Bond movie ever? Or would they have like really, I mean, they would have course corrected the whole thing and it would have been a whole different series, man. That probably would have been, I don't know if I want to say like better because I love what we got.
Sure.
You know, but man, that would have been amazing to see. Like it's crazy that the choices and how much like the whole Bond thing would have been completely different.
And I think at this point, and I'm curious, I don't know if this is the general sentiment out there, but it definitely, what if Timothy Dalton would have had more chances at very least, you know, at some of these other stories, because he does such a good, and I all my reading at the time, I wouldn't say they were negative reviews. Actually, a lot of them talk about his acting and how well he brings what he brings, even though the movie may not have been as good as his performance. And so I'm curious, you know, if he would have gotten some more opportunities, like what we would have seen, because he is very good at this part.
Yeah.
Always watchable, always engaging, and always, I think, elevating some of the material. So,
and even Roger Moore, it took him like a few movies to like get into it and make it his own, you know? Because the first two, they were still kind of trying to do Connery, and then they figured out, oh, this is where you fit. This is how we tailor it and make it work. So by the time you get to like his third outing, it's like, oh, this is what it is now. And I mean, and Moore did did fucking what, 7 movies or like 5 or 7. Right? He did the most movies. Yeah. I think Daniel Craig had the most time.
Oh, gotcha.
But Moore did the most movies. So that is a lot, man. When you're thinking the change from like one guy, 7 movies into something completely, and then a very different take. You know, it's like I can understand why. Sure. Like even for me, it was weird. Like I said, it didn't feel like the same guy.
Especially the people who are going to go see it have seen other Bonds, right? Like that's going to be your core audience. So yeah, for sure, I can understand the period of adjustment to say the least for the audience.
And I think that's the part of the brilliance with GoldenEye too. Is it like, man, they maneuvered that just right. Because I feel like Pierce calls back the most probably to Moore, but still has like Dalton's edge. Yeah, you know, he's like the best of both worlds.
The whole thing,
Like the humor, the charm. He can still look like a killer. And then with Daniel Craig, I mean, that makes sense because they were like starting with a clean slate.
So we haven't remade any Bond film, right?
No.
Yeah, I don't know if they'd ever do that, but it would be interesting if they ever decided to do that as well.
Well, I guess I don't
know if it'd be interesting, but I mean,
I'm wrong because Never Say Never Again was basically a remake of Thunderball.
Okay.
Also starring Sean Connery, though, like old Sean Connery, like in Indiana Jones era Sean Connery. Because that came out, I guess, sooner. That came out like 85. Yeah. It's interesting, just as like a study of like, wow. Like they had like 2 James Bond movies in 1 year.
It's so wild.
And like one is like way, I didn't like it at all.
Sure.
But so there's that. But I don't know, man. And that's the thing with who knows what's going to happen with like the new era of Bond that we're going to get.
It'll be interesting to see.
I can't fucking wait. And I just hope they don't ruin it according to me. And Denis Villeneuve, I love Denis Villeneuve. I think he's one of the best filmmakers we fucking have right now, and we need him.
I just saw we're about to get a Dune 3 trailer, so he's got to be starting to work on Bond. Yeah. Chalamet just, I guess, posted that we're going to see in a couple of weeks. We could see a trailer for Dune 3. So
that's right, because it's supposed to come December, right?
Is that when it's okay? Yeah. I know it was this year. They said, but things get delayed.
Supposedly, it's going to be like the same time frame as Avengers.
Okay.
So there's talk about it. There's going to be days, like switching the days, but people have already started calling it Doomsday, which I love. I think that's great. Keep them on the same weekend, man.
Why not?
Just like Barbenheimer.
We did Barbenheimer. Why not?
It can work.
Like, get people back to go to theaters.
Make it like a cultural event.
Please, God, but we need people to go to the movies, so they freaking keep them open.
But man, I don't know. You're talking about like, had they remade one? And I think because it's like, where do we even fucking go from here?
And I'm not a fan of remakes, so it's like it's not like my first thing that I want to do. But to your point, what if you have the time and the money and the opportunity to bring something that elevates the material as opposed to just doing it again?
Yeah, like a modern, really like a readaptation, right? Because you're still like adapting the novel. So like, what does a modern, adaptation of like Moonraker look like? And that's one that they still haven't even done. Like Die Another Day kind of took some ideas from Moonraker, the novel.
Yeah.
Way different still, but it's like, dude, like that's like one thing. Like you can go and just do the fucking book.
Right.
Just do the book. And that's kind of, in my opinion, there's some things that are kind of relevant to now, and it could be kind of cool and interesting. But I would love to see them do the Thunderbolt on Her Majesty's You Only Live Twice, like a more direct adaptation of those where they like really keep the continuity and like the love story and the revenge plot. Like to me, it's such a shame that we didn't really get that in the original series. So I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Sure.
Casino Royale would be a tough one because that movie's just too damn good.
Yeah, you can't imagine.
That one's just too good.
No. That'd be interesting.
Yeah. But, I have to throw this out real quick. This episode will probably be out before what we're recording tonight. But have you ever seen The Rocketeer?
Yeah, I love The Rocketeer. I saw it in theaters twice.
When it came out?
Yeah, I was a kid.
Man. So I hadn't seen it since I was like a little kid, right? Like I don't remember fucking anything. Yeah, New Beverly played it. I recorded a podcast on it. So they did like a Saturday matinee. I was like, The Rocketeer, I'm going to go see this. What a like kind of obscure Disney movie. Yeah, fucking loved it. Didn't realize Timothy Dalton was in it. Yeah, and it's the fucking bad guy.
Yeah, that's literally where I first saw him.
Yeah, and it's nuts to think. I'm like, what a fucking move. Yeah, like 2 years or a year or two after you played James Bond, now you're like the villain of this movie. And not only that, but you're a Nazi spy. And I said this in my podcast. Like, he's so great in it, and he could make a fucking great Bond villain, man. Yeah. I would not. And he was great in Hot Fuzz, too.
I haven't seen Hot Fuzz.
You haven't seen Hot Fuzz? He's kind of like the villain of that movie as well, but it's obviously a comedy. But, guy, make Timothy Dalton a fucking Bond villain. Yeah. I would love to see. I know it's kind of weird, but it would be fucking cool.
I'm glad you enjoyed Rocketeer. My dad's a comic book reader, so if there was anything that got adapted from a comic book, we'd go see it. Nice, and I think Jennifer Connelly's like one of my first crushes, probably because I was just at the right age to start. She's so beautiful, those kind of things. So I loved it. I recently rewatched it. It holds up, dude. It's good.
Yeah, it does hold up.
So really it holds up really well.
Yeah, fun to see in a theater too. Like a lot of. I love those kinds of matinees where you get like generations of families. Yeah. It's like this grandfather's there with his like little grandkids, like buying their popcorn. Oh, you're going to fucking love this movie.
It's so great.
And like, I love seeing like all these families go and watch stuff like that. It like warms my heart. And cinemas are special places, guys, when you're off your phones.
And it's great that, I love the superhero aspect that you're not, just a regular guy being a superhero, riding around with a rocket backpack. I think it's great. I love it.
Well, shit, man. Any final thoughts on this one?
Once again, thanks for sharing. I don't know if I'll revisit this one. I know I want to revisit after watching this one. I wanted to revisit License to Kill.
Nice.
So I was like, I may go watch that this week, and I do need to. It also makes me realize the Roger Moore era is definitely missing from my filmography. So I think it's time to dive in and give it a watch. So
if you're down and we can make the decision right now,
sure.
Can I say you want to do another revisiting James Bond episode?
Let's do it.
Let's do. I gotta think. Live and Let Die or The Spy Who Loved Me. Maybe The Spy Who Loved Me. Okay. I think that
you
might
name
be
it, and
the one.
we'll make it happen, man. I'm totally down. So.
Yeah, I took down my poster, but it's okay. My original 1970s.
If you're ever on Rudy's podcast, let me tell you, this is like the greatest place to record because we're surrounded by these beautiful Bond posters and all these other film posters. I'm not kidding. It totally sets the vibe, man. This is like perfect.
Yeah, the French. The French. From Russia with Love.
It's beautifully hand-drawn, and I obviously took it from a photograph, but it's like, man, the drawing is just, it's wonderful.
This pose of James Bond, I think, is the ultimate image. Like
it's what we think of.
Yeah. Of all the pictures and paintings and everything, like I think this is the one. Like that's fucking the cross arm,
oh,
the gun.
Man, yeah, the whole thing.
Even though it's not the PPK, but
I was about to say, wait, that's not the Walther, but okay, that's fine.
It's all good.
There's like a German Luger of some sort, but not that I know guns or anything, but it's like, I know that. So.
Someone didn't watch the movie, but that's okay.
Well, they make such a big deal about Walther PPK, you should know. So maybe they didn't have guns in France in the 60s or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, love it. Well, dang, man, thanks for joining me. And
thanks for including me.
Having a pour of this.
Check out the Nelson Bros.
Mouvedre. Yeah. All right. Well, that's a wrap, everybody. Cheers.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to the Drinks and a Movie podcast. You can now find us on Instagram at Drinks and a Movie Pod, where we'll be posting photos from all the various films that we discuss. You can also email us at drinksandamoviepod@gmail.com. Please rate, review, and subscribe, and thank you for listening.